What's up, guys, and welcome to Work Wednesday. Today I'm going to talk about something fun. Last week, if you recall, I talked about getting paid as a musician. Today I'm going to talk about getting gigs as a musician. It was a comment that was left in the video last week, and I think it's a good thing to cover. Now, obviously, right now, it's not the best time to go out and get gigs because everything's closed and no one's hiring. But as things start to open up again, here's how I did it for years before our band got a manager, and now he does an awesome job and does it better than I could ever do.
Hey, yeah, get the money, yeah.
First off, depending on the style of music you play, you want to do the research to find out the clubs that would actually hire you, because not every club hires every band, and some clubs don't like certain styles of pop, and some clubs don't like rock or heavy metal. But some clubs only have rock and heavy metal and don't like pop. So you have to do the research to find out the places to play. That's generally pretty easy because if you're a musician, you've probably gone to those shows before at that club that you want to play. So getting on the bill isn't really that hard, and this is how I do it. Just about everything in life is sales, so it's good to know something about sales before you try and do this, but you can try and figure it out on your own. Essentially, what you want to do is sell your band and brand to the club owner or to a band on the venue. So there's two different ways that you can go about getting a gig on a venue that you want to do. Either way involves you getting your foot in the door through someone else. So you can make friends with one of the bands who already has that gig and then open for them. This putting you in the category that might not get paid because now you're an opener and you're doing it for the band and not the venue, like I mentioned last week. Sometimes you want to play, depending on the situation, not paid for the band because you want them to be like, hey guys, we're going on tour, why don't you open for us, you'll get paid. Or hey guys, we're playing a new club, we'll get you paid if you want to open for us. That's that scenario. The other scenario, of course, the venue itself, like I mentioned last week in the video I've been talking about. You guys should watch the video if you haven't watched it. You should also like and subscribe to the page. I'll wait. Go ahead, like the blue button, same color as this. Anyway, continuing. I lost my train of thought. Wait for it. So yeah, as I was saying, the other scenario is the venue itself hires you. And in order for that to happen, you have to get to know the owner or the booking agent of that venue. So you should go in and sell yourself as a fun, nice person to talk to so that they actually spend time listening to you. And then sell your band. And it's not terribly hard. You just have to build it up a bit. And there's room for, what's the word? Creative license. So for example, when you explain to your venue owner or booking agent what your band can bring, you want that to include how much money they can bring for the venue, because that's the bottom line for the venue. They want to make money, and they're willing to pay you as long as you make them more money than them not having you, which makes sense. So you want to essentially just tell them, this is what we'll bring, and you want to have these numbers figured out before you enter the venue. Generally, if you're a 5-piece band, and let's say, just to make things easy, you want $100 per person, you need $500, but you need to bring them more than that in revenue. Otherwise, it's a wash, and that's not very convenient for doing the extra work of getting you on the bill. So you just need to explain that your band can bring 10 people a person. They're going to drink 2 drinks a person, equaling about $1,000 in drink revenue. Obviously, a portion of that goes to purchasing the actual product for them to drink. So the venue doesn't make that full $1,000, but they'll make some after they pay you. Now this gets easier and easier as it goes, and if you know stuff about sales, then you know that generally it's best just going with the confidence, knowing that your product is the best product that they can possibly spend their money on. So don't be shy. Go in there and tell them the great following that you have. Tell them how many shows you've done. Make up whatever you need to make up, but try and stay as realistic as possible, because another thing you don't want to do is show up with no fans, or show up and have everybody in the place leave because you're not that great. There's also things like festivals and other places that you can look into playing. Keep in mind that generally you want to keep it family friendly if you're applying for those places, because other than a nightclub that can basically specifically ticket at the door and make sure that its patrons are a certain age. A festival can't, and so you'll have kids and families there, and so you don't necessarily want to offer to play if you can't provide what won't embarrass the festival directors. So essentially that's it, folks. That is your Work Wednesday, talking about how to get gigs and how to get into the scene. It takes a lot of work, and sometimes you'll get turned away. You can't get downhearted. It's just like auditioning for things. There's times when you get accepted, and there's times when you're not good enough for some reason. And that reason sometimes is because they already have a person. They're just trying to be nice and letting everyone audition. So that being said, keep at it. And I will see you tomorrow for Theory Thursday.